Peter Triggz Viasu, leader of the Islander jail gang The Bloodline, speaks on his first introduction to prison and explains to the young kids out there why the gang life is not worth it. Triggz also mentions his first ever racial war he participated in, and also speaks on the criminal-turned-businessman Underworld Bill. If you enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out. Leave a comment on your thoughts. Enjoy.
Me and all the Kuri boys. So, a story that I'm going to be chatting about tonight is when I first came to prison and the racial wars were going on at the time, yeah? Before I go on with this story, I need all of you guys to tap it up, yeah? I want you guys to freaking show love by tapping it up, you know? Like, I'm going to do as much as I can to help these kids understand, and all I need from you guys to tap it up, yeah? Tap those hearts. Love yous. Thank you very much, Leon. So, my first encounter with racial wars was at Parklea prison, yeah? And to all you youngsters again, guess where this rubbish started? From the smallest thing. See the Elmadine and Hemsey drama? See how many people died from it? Alright. It started from something small, yeah? But not as small as what I'm going to tell you about. This was the most stupidest thing. Marie, love ya. James, love ya. I was at Parklea. It was 2002. And the racial wars were like, it was off its head. Put it this way, I can't say certain words, yeah? But at Silverwater was the first time that I seen Underworld Bill and a lot of the Bankstown boys get attacked by the Islander boys. And so when Underworld Bill explains this story to you guys, he's very, very discreet about certain details because he doesn't want to get too much into it. And he always says this thing that the boys were telling me about, this is all for entertainment. All right, let me tell you guys something. I don't do entertainment, yeah? What I do is facts. Right, so I tell you everything about it so you understand it, and I hope that you guys learn from it. So the situation that Underworld Bill was talking about, where he got abstayed by the Islander boys, this story is true because I was there. The Middle Eastern boys that day, they got snuck over by the Islander boys, but like I said to you, it's tit for tat, yeah. And so pretty much every single one of them got annihilated that day. There was nothing they could do. And I'm gonna be honest right now, yeah? Remember, I was 18 years old. I had just come to prison. So I didn't know about racial wars. The first incident that happened with me was that when I was in Darcy, yeah? And a Kuri guy walked over to me and said, "Hey, bruh, you got any cigarettes?" And I was like, "Nah." And he was like, "What do you mean, nah?" I said, "I don't smoke, mate." And then he started like, "Yeah, fucking talk to you." And I was like, "What the hell's wrong with this bloke?" You know, and I didn't realize, back in the days when I first came in, as soon as you walk into Silverwater prison, they give you a 30-gram pouch with cigarettes, yeah? Mindful, thank you. Marie, love ya. And I didn't take it. So when they offered it to me, I said to the officers, "I don't smoke, I'm all good." And so I walked into Darcy at Silverwater, and in the morning when I was doing laps, I saw all these guys walking around with cups on their shoe. So it was funny to me. I was like, "What the hell's this? This must be prison, you know?" And the Kuri guy walked straight over to me and he said to me, "1, 2, 3, where's the cigarettes?" And I was like, "Mate, I haven't got nothing." And then when he kept going, like, I'm not a little gronk. Even though I was 18 years old, I stepped up to the plate and I said, "Mate, like, are you trying to be funny? You know, I told you I don't have any cigarettes because I don't smoke, you dog, you know?" And that was the worst thing I could have said. Bruh, as soon as I called this bloke a dog, oh mate, all I seen was about 8 Kuri boys jump up, yeah? And I looked around like that and I seen toothbrushes, and I didn't know anything about this. I just come from juvie, I don't know the go, yeah? And I seen toothbrushes sharpened up, and they were all like pulling it out of the jumper. And he was like, "What'd you say, bruh? What'd you call me?" Like that. And I was like, I stepped back and I shaped up, yeah? Like, as I shaped up, boom, all the squad come running in. As they all come running, "Everyone get to the back, everyone get to the back." And all I could see was like everyone dropping their shoes, dropping their shoes. a screw grabbed me from the jumper, Islander screw, and he pulled me backwards. And when I turned around, I kind of shrugged him off and said, "What are you doing?" He goes, "Get over here!" Like that. And he chucked me inside the wing. And I was like, "What the hell?" And I could see everyone lined up and everyone's getting patted down, and the squad were walking around picking up all these sharp toothbrushes and putting it inside a plastic bag. These were all weapons. And mind you, as soon as I uttered that word, dog, all these guys just freaking stood up, and I was like, "What the hell?" I didn't realize this was jail, and I didn't realize, my own fault, I didn't realize that the peak of racial wars. There's no such thing as racial wars in juvie. Everyone got along. If you fought, it was just one-on-one, you know. There was no jumping, nothing in juvie. Anyway, when I got dragged inside by the squad, he took me to the room, and he looked up at my card, and then he looked at me, looked up at my card, and he looked at me, and he was like, "Wait, have you got a dad named Ellie?" And I was like, "Yeah, why?" And he was like, "Oh my gosh." He goes, Is your mom Oli?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Wow." And I was like, "Wow, what's wrong?" And he was like, "Man, I know your parents." He goes, we go to church together." He goes, "Wow, man." He goes, "What's your name?" And I said, "Peter." And then he was like, "Bro," he goes, "come and sit down." He goes, "I have to talk to you." Then I had 3 Aussie squad and 1 Islander that walked into my cell. He made me sit down on the bunk, on the bed, and he sat down across from me, yeah? And then this is what he said. He goes, "Look, bro," he goes, "Where did you come from, the outside?" And I said, "Yeah, I just finished juvie. I came here because I'm 18 now, you know?" And he goes, "Man," he goes, "understand this. This is not juvie." He goes, "What happened out there? You are bloody lucky that we were standing inside watching the cameras when we saw this situation occur." And I said, "What?" And me being 18, I was like, "What do you mean lucky? I don't need Jews. I can do my own thing. I didn't need Jews to come out and freaking be my savior." And he was like, it's about, you're young and you don't understand what you're getting yourself into. See those Kuru boys that you effed with outside?" And I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "They are never going to forget your face. Your face is now going to be in every Kuru boy's mouth. You see that Islander, the fair one? He's got, what's it called?" So back then I had like an undercut, yeah? He goes, "The one with the undercut, get him." And this is where I was like, whoa, no, what do you mean? Like in my heart, I was like, "Bro, I don't care. I'll fight to the death." This is me being young and dumb. Like, I'm expressing this because all you youngsters out there, I know this is how you're feeling right now when you watch my lives. You're like saying to yourself, "Bro, I don't need to listen to this rubbish. You lived your life, let me live my life." All right, live your life. But all I'm doing is telling my story. Listen to my story, yeah? Because I'm telling you, when you want to walk my footsteps, I'm telling you, it's going to be something that's not good for you, you know. Like, walking my footsteps is going to put a target on your back, because everyone in prison wants to be the king of the yard. Everyone in prison wants to make a name, you know. So if you want to walk my footsteps, by all means, you know. And if you want to listen, then listen carefully to this story, yeah? This officer was the one who taught me about racial wars. So it wasn't criminals, it wasn't the older boys that taught me about the racial wars. It was actually a screw. It was a squad member. When he sat me down, there was 3 other Aussie squad boys standing at the door, and he said to me, "Bro, this is prison, yeah? Inside prison," he goes, "there are 4 main nationalities. It's the Islanders, the Kuris, the Asians, and the Lebanese boys," or they'll say Middle Eastern boys, but mostly Lebanese boys because they were running it back then, yeah? And he said to me, "Islanders are linked with the Asian boys. So if you see Asian boys, just kick it with them. If you see Islander boys, kick it with them." He goes, "But do not, and I mean do not, walk over to the Lebanese or Kuri boys." "Yeah, thank you very much, 187. And I was thinking, man, Bobby, thank you. Who the hell is this screw trying to teach me about gang life? Like, get out of here. It wasn't until he said to me he was going to move me, that's when I realized what prison was. Because listen to this. As he came to my cell, he goes to me, "Look, I'm going to move you out of here because of the tension, and we have to let you out like one day, and everyone in here is not going anywhere soon. So we're gonna move you instead of moving the cool boys because there's a lot of them. As I was walking out, all I could hear was the cool boys yelling out to me, yeah, I see you when I see you, bruh. I see you when I see you, bruh. And I was thinking to myself, yeah, I'll see you when I see you too, all good. I got taken to Pod 9 Silverwater. This is 2002, yeah? So 2001 December was when I got to Silverwater, and then I got moved over to Pod 9 2002. I walked into the wing, and mate, I seen everyone training, and I seen how the pod was split up. You had Koori boys, Asian boys, Islander boys, you know, like the 4 main nationalities like had a corner of the Pod 9, yeah? And I was like, it just looks like movies, all good in the hood. And I walked in, and as soon as I walked into the pod, an Islander guy walked over to me, shook my hand, asked me what my name was, and I said Peter. And before I had walked into the pod, remember that Islander squad? He whispered in my ear, he goes, look, I brought you here to Pod 9. He goes, so the older boys can teach you. He goes, there's a guy here named Montana, and Montana's gonna teach you like about prison, yeah? And then I was like, yeah, whatever, I don't need no one, you know. That's what I was saying inside my head. I didn't say it to the officer. But I was like today, now that, OW, thank you. Now that I understand and I'm much more wiser, like, I was very thankful for the fact that that squad member explained it to me before I got to Pod 9. You know, a lot of younger boys didn't get anything explained to them, so as soon as they walked into the pod, they were getting clean hit, young 18-year-olds, and they didn't even know why, yeah? This, just like that story I told you guys about a couple of weeks ago, where a brawl broke out in at Park Lee. Young 18-year-old kid, had nothing to do with the brawl, had nothing to do with the situation that was going on. Bang, got king hit. Why? He doesn't know why. You know? And that day when I walked in and I shook hands with that Islander, he took me to my cell, and then first thing I saw was him holding like a sharp ass blade. You're like, it was sharp, and he had like a sheet rolled around it, and I looked at him weird, and he had put it straight down his pants, you know, and I was like, oh, I wonder what's going on there. Must have some dramas, you know. All 7, thank you. As I was sitting in myself, thank you, Truth. 4 Islander boys walked into my cell and introduced themselves. I said hello, and then they said after lunch there's going to be a meeting to all the other boys. Marie, Rosa, thank you. After lunch, everyone walked into the cell, and remember, I just got to jail, so I don't know what's going on. And I seen Underworld Bill walking around, and he was very solid and muscly, as he always talks about. Tanisha, love ya, brother, thank you. 63, love ya. And when we got into the cell, Montana was the oldest one. He was the one that came from Goulburn for court, and this is the one that the squad was telling me will teach me. Yeah, Savage, love ya. And when I sat down, they started talking about a strategy, and I didn't know what they were talking about. And the strategy was about taking out all the Lebanese boys. And I was like, whoa, what's going on here? Brothers, May, thank you. Montana started explaining to the boys where they had to split up and who they had to get first. And the first name, unknown, thank you, brother, thank you. The first name that came up was Underworld Bill's name. And I'll never forget it. Jake, 63, Benny, thank you. I'll never forget his name because it's really catchy. You know, as soon as I heard Bill Trad, I was like, that's a nice name. It's a catchy name, you know. So I don't know, it's none of my business why he called himself Underworld Bill, but if I was him, I would have just called myself Bill Trad. That's a cracker name, you know. But anyway, that name got mentioned inside the cell. Like, make sure tag him first. SKT, thank you. Yeah, thank you. And then we all walked out after the plan was sorted, and everyone split. The next morning, thank you. I got called to go to court. I went to court and I came back. As I came back, I got put into a little cage with a Lebanese old man. Where's love ya? Thank you very much. Appreciate you. I was standing there with the old Lebanese man, and then all I seen was like Bill Trad was kicking back like this. His was like on a ping pong table. Nifo, thank you. And Savage, thank you. and then boom, it erupted. Islanders came from everywhere and just started attacking everyone, you know, and bro, it was just something out of a movie. And this is why when I see Underworld Bill telling his stories, you know, like, he's not explaining the whole thing. I don't know, like, if he doesn't want to get in trouble, if he doesn't want to put weight on his legitimate business, but bro, if you're putting yourself out there, you might as well just tell the story for everyone to know, you know, because I vouched for you. I'm the one who got on social media and said, yeah, you're about it. You know why? Because I was a young 18-year-old and I saw what you did that day. You tried your best. Like, what are you going to do? Like, all the Islanders were armed and bladed up, you know? But what Bill didn't explain to you guys is that it was tit for tat. So what happened, yeah, was as soon as all the Lebo boys got there at Silverwater, pretty much about 2 weeks later, bang, every Islander that was at Long Bay prison got. So the Kuru boys and the Lebo boys were just doing laps, and there was 3 boys there, yeah? I'm not going to mention it because a lot of the dramas that happened between the Islanders and the Fijian boys, obviously the Fijian boys are Islanders as well, but the reason why I worded it like that is because these idiots who get on social media, who don't know nothing about prison, they did a bit of time and they start talking about yeah, the bloodline and OC drama. This was the first split between islands. You idiot, you don't know shit. All right, the first split with the Islanders was when the Fijians split from the Islanders, and one of the main reasons as well was this Fijian guy named Manu who left those Islander boys with it. So there was 4 of them, 3 of those Islander boys got jumped, and Manu left them with it. Like, pretty much he didn't get involved to help the boys when they got ambushed by the Lebanese boys. And bro, you know those Islander boys, they got hard, just like the Lebanese boys got hard when Underworld Bill was there, you know. And this is what I'm saying to you youngsters. This is what I went through back then. Lisa, Adam, love yous. Whoa. Love yous, thank you very much. Guys, the only reason why I stopped there is because I remember watching one of my videos back, and when a gift was given to me that went off, I was talking and no one could hear me talking because the gift was going off. So now when I see a big gift, I keep my mouth shut and I wait, and then I start talking again. So this big situation that happened with Underworld Bill, yes, this was like one of many. And what happened during these 2 incidences was bad. Like, everyone was going at it. No one cared. No one cared about life. Like, everyone just did what they had to do, yeah? I was lucky to be inside that bar that day with the Lebanese guy, but I watched everything, you know, and I remembered, this was the meeting that happened yesterday, you know? So, no one asked me to get involved because I was the young kid, yeah? But there was guys that was involved in it. They were actually a year older than me, so they were 19. Adam, love ya, thank you very much, appreciate you. And you know what the worst thing was? The old Muslim man that was with me, Chase, love ya. The old Muslim man that was with me inside the cage when the war broke out, he looked at me straight away, and I looked at him, yeah? And I was thinking, don't tell me this old man's gonna try to attack me. Like, wait, he looked like he was freaking 55 years old, you know? He looked at me and I looked at him, and then he said to me, like this, he went with his head, he goes, why, like that, you know? Like, he was asking me why the Islander boys are attacking the Muslim brothers. And I looked at him and I had no words. Ethan, Adam, love yous, thank you very much. I had no words, you know, like, obviously nothing happened between us two. Don't touch, thank you. So, the war stories that you guys are gonna hear from me within the next year is all big stuff that happened that needs to be known so that the youngsters can understand, you know, that it's not a life to be at. I was at freaking Byron Bay the other day and I went live and I was explaining to Adam, love you, thank you. And I was explaining to everyone, look how beautiful this beach is. You know, and I was saying to all the youngsters, like, the guy doesn't explain much, and hey, who am I to speak? You know, like, But if I was in and amongst something, I will explain it, and I will explain it thoroughly so that the younger generation understand that this is what gang life is about. Fast forward to when I went to Parkley, when I was explaining to you that situation, yeah, when I first encountered racial wars myself. Tequila, thank you very much. Adam, love you, I appreciate you. So what happened was, I was in the wing, I just got to Parkley, and everyone was training hard. And one of the biggest, Adam, thank you, one of the biggest guys that I ever seen in prison was this bloke named Moses, who was Fijian. Quando, thank you, love you, Adam, appreciate you. And this Fijian guy was so big, I was like, bro, I've never ever seen anything like that except on the movies, you know? And this guy was doing chin-ups with like a big bottle, but you know, that's what everyone does, but he had two of them, and he was doing chin-ups with these two bottles, yeah? And I was like, bro, what the heck? This is something that you just see on movies. Anyway, that was my first day at Parkley. The second day at Parkley, I was doing my thing, and I had put a red cordial inside the fridge, yeah? Listen to how this brawl broke out, yeah? So stupid, all right? I went to go get my freaking cordial bottle in the afternoon, and I grabbed the red cordial bottle and I pulled it out. As soon as I grabbed it, it got hit out of my hand. Remember, it's only my second day at Parkley prison. Love you, Adam, thank you. I turned my head like this, and a Kuribo got into my face, and he was like, so you're the one who was petty thieving my cordial? And I was like, what? What are you talking about? And he goes, you friggin' dog. Yes, remember that word dog, it's like the worst thing you could say. And if I had backed away when he said that word, I would have been a target for the rest of my jail prison. So, Kia, thank you very much. So obviously I had to step up to the plate. I appreciate you. And as soon as I turned my cordial bottle and I go, does that look like your bottle? And it had my name on it, yeah? And he looked at me like weird, and I dropped it and I king hit him. As soon as I king hit him, like it broke out, me and him were fighting, and then one of the other Islander boys, rest in peace to Leki from Mount Jewett, Tongan boy, he jumped in straight away and cracked him as well, and that was the biggest mistake. 1-on-1, probably would have left it, but because it was 2-on-1, and I didn't ask Aleki to jump in, like I think he just saw me as a young kid, 18, and he remembered me from Mount Jewett, so he wanted to stick up for me, you know? As soon as I king hit him, started going at him, the Kuru guy started fighting back, and then Aleki decked him from the side, you know? That's it. That was my first experience. Kika, thank you, of racial wars, because right after that incident, all the Kurus wanted my blood. And I walked out the next morning after that, and they were all death staring me, and I could see them all with their hands under their jumper, and I was like, bro, like, I saw what happened at Silverwater with the Lebanese and Islander boys, and I was thinking, don't tell me this is gonna happen to me. Adam, Tequila, love yous, thank you very much. So I'm doing my laps, and as I'm doing my laps, that's when they yelled out to me. They didn't know my name, you know, and I walked over, and it was one of the Islander boys. And he was like, bro, he goes, what's your name? And I said, Peter. I said, what happened? I explained the cordial situation. Kick out, Adam, thank you. And then he was like, all right, like, this is how, how much nobody cared about how a situation occurred, yeah? Because even though I explained it was over a cordial, the Islander boys that were standing at the fence talking to me, love you guys, didn't say, oh, are you serious? Over a cordial bottle? Hang on, let me go talk. Nah, they didn't care that it was over a cordial ball, cordial water. Guess what? They just said, go get ready for war. That's what they said to me. And I was like, huh? And they were like, go get ready, Uso. We're going to get a sheep to you. Because everyone's armed up, ready to go. And I was like, bro, what the hell? Like, I love fighting. Uso, thank you. Thank you, boys. I like fighting with my hands. So when they wanted me to hold a sheep, like, I refused to. I was like, nah, I don't need a sheep. I'll use my hands, you know? And then the delegate Nance, and you know what? Shout out to delegate Nance. He was the best delegate that I ever came across in prison. He was a Samoan, one of the older boys. He stopped the situation from elevating in prison. So all of you guys know a Dane, yeah. I forget his Instagram, but I think he's got about 26,000 followers on TikTok. Anyway, Dane was there. Whoa, Marie, don't touch. Thank you very much. Love yous. Ike Lava, thank you. So Dane had a situation with my boys on the outside, yeah? and they jumped him, and then he jumped one of our guys, and then he came to prison. When he came to prison, he was outnumbered because it was me and all my guys there, yeah? And so Nance got involved. Tequila, Adam, thank you. Nance got involved and stopped that situation. And he said to us, boys, these are both islanders, and right now we're at war. Like, you can't, Atsa, thank you, Adam. And he goes, you can't put us on show. Like, I need you guys to leave your drama behind and let's move forward. You can sort out your shit when you get out, yeah? Sanisha, love you, thank you. And what had happened is, oh shit, what's that? Elvis Presley, wow. Tommy, thank you very much. Bill, thank you. So, when the brawl that I'm about to explain to you broke out, everyone was getting ready, yeah? And everyone used to brawl at church. So there was a church at Parkley. So it was like, you got to walk past like a little oval. It's not a big oval, like it's just a little oval space with grass. Walk past that and then you get to church. That's where it was back in the days, yeah? And today, apparently that's education. Anyway, the Kuri boys had spoken to Nance. There's the delegate, told him, we want blood from that guy because he touched one of our boys. And then Nance said, look, if you want to touch him, we're going to go to war. He goes, so it's better off you just let these guys have one-on-one, all right? Inked, love ya, thank you very much. AZ. So the Kuri boys accepted it and said, all right, let them have the one-on-one. And when I was standing at the gate, getting ready to go out for my one-on-one at the church, the Islander boys that were across there was Afele, Tamilo, Nance, like Li'i Latogi, Abraham Nonu, they were all across from me, yeah? And they were like, Uzo, you alright? And I was like, yeah, he goes, where you going? I said, Nance told me I've got to go out and have a one-on-one with the Kuri guy. And I'm like, who's going with you? Where's the Tongan boys? And I said, Tongan boys over there. And they was like, what, no one's going out with you? I said, nah, I don't think so. Like, what the fuck? So they started rushing around, yeah? O Block, AZ, O Block, thank you. So they got rushing around trying to like get ready, and they were yelling out to the screw, hey, we want to go to church, we want to go to church. Lucky for me, these Islander boys said that, yeah? Like, my big love and respect to Afele, Li'i Latogi, Abraham Nonu, like those boys are here. Wild Child, love you, thank you very much. Because if they didn't go out with me that day, I probably would have got jumped on that day. Like, not probably, I would have got my head jumped on that day. Because the Kuri boys walked out first, yeah, to go to church to wait for us. And guess what? When they walked out, it wasn't just the guy who was having the one-on-one with 12 of them walked out. And I seen them all walking, and I was like, wait, I've never seen Kuri boys go to church before. Wow, they must be all going there for me. And then I got let out afterwards. When I got let out, I was walking by myself, and then the Islander boys on the other side got out to me to wait for them. So I waited, then they all came out. So when we walked out, there were 6 of us, and there was about 11 of them. Yeah? And then as soon as we got down there, the Kuri boys were like saying, hey boys, just leave it, you know, like we're just here to see a one-on-one. And then I was thinking to myself, right, one-on-one, look how many of you there are, you know. I knew something was gonna break up. Anyway, I shaped up, the bloke shaped up, and as soon as I clocked him, I went forward and he pulled my hair. He pulled my hair down, and when I tried to step out, like to pull his hand off, he let go of my hair, and I tripped over and I fell on the ground, yeah? As soon as I fell on the ground, I stood up, and as I stood up, one of the Kuri boys, J-Dog, Marie, love yous, one of the Kuri boys like, tried to run over and King hit me. And as I got on my foot, I shaped up. But as I shaped up, I fell there. King hit the guy that I was supposed to be having a one-on-one with. And then that was it. The whole brawl just broke out. And when I say broke out, like you just see the shit you see on TV, yeah, or the movies, yeah, that's just movies, all right? What happened that day, like, was pretty much everyone was just going at it, yeah? All hands. And there was only one sheep that day, and it was an Indian guy who was with the Islander boys, like he was back in the Islander boys scene. He had a sheep that day, yeah? And the Kuri boys had one sheep as well. So when everyone was fighting, obviously like I kept running and attacking the guy that I was having a one-on-one with, yeah? And so what happened was, as I had King hit him and he hit the back of the fence, I heard someone like hit the floor. I mean, I quickly turned around and shaped up to get ready to fight, yeah? But as I turned around to get ready to fight, thank you guys, this Kuru guy was on the ground and Dane was standing up. So Dane had clocked this guy as he come running from behind. So remember, I'm bashing one, but then when he come running over to chip shot me, Dane clocked him and he dropped. And then I looked at him on the ground and I saw a shoe next to his hand. I quickly picked it up, yeah? And when I picked it up, I threw it.